Good morning. I hope you're doing well this morning, and if you're in the Oklahoma City metro area, I hope that you're staying warm and staying dry this week. I know there's many others all over the country who are dealing with this severe weather as well. You know, yesterday I had talked with you about Ash Wednesday and the beginning of the season of Lent. And I had challenged all of us during the season of Lent to take seriously every day the commitment to having a daily devotional life. Spending time during the season of Lent, opening ourselves up to hear God speak and to going where God leads us during this 40-day journey as we prepare ourselves for Easter. Well, if you don't know, we produce daily devotionals from the staff at St. Luke's. And so we've put together a Lenten devotional booklet to help us go through this Lenten journey. And this is how I'm starting my day every day during the season of Lent, and I hope that you'll choose to do the same. Every day I find these devotionals from our staff to be so meaningful to me as I hear their stories of how God is using them and working through their lives. Well, yesterday it all started on Ash Wednesday, and I read as Dr. Long shared his devotional about how he and Marcia had been led to St. Luke's by God back in 1991 and how they'd been open to this new change in their lives. This morning's devotional was from Sarah Cohey, our Director of Youth Ministries at our Edmond campus, talking about a time back in college where she'd been open to God's leading in her life, and God was able to lead her to be there for a friend of hers in a very difficult and tragic time in her life. These devotionals are very meaningful, and I hope you're taking that commitment seriously. But as I've been thinking about this and thinking about what it means to be open to God leading us in our lives and God being able to use us in different ways, I started thinking about a recent story I heard about Alex Trebek. You remember Alex Trebek was the host of the game show Jeopardy for 38 years. Was an incredible man, an incredible host of the game show, but just an incredible human being as well. He passed away late this last year, you'll remember, from pancreatic cancer. He left behind an amazing legacy. But I heard a story recently about how it was his son and some of his family members that got together and they were trying to decide what to do with all of his things. Now, of course, as a game show host, he had quite the wardrobe. He had all of these different suits that he had to wear for the game show every single day for all their filmings. And so they got together with the costume designer from the game show Jeopardy, and it was his son Matthew. The two of them got together and tried to decide, what are we going to do with all of Alex's suits and clothes and his personal wardrobe? Now, Alex was somebody who had always talked about what it means to be there to bless life, to open ourselves up to help others in need. And so they thought it seemed fitting to have some of his final legacy be blessing life through his clothes and his wardrobe. And so they got together and they partnered with the Doe Foundation. The Doe Foundation is a group out of New York that helps those who are coming out of prison or those who are homeless to be able to get back on their feet, and helps to get them job training and interview skills and helps them to get employed so that they can get their life back on the right track. And so they got together with the Doe Foundation and they decided to donate a large portion of his wardrobe to the Doe Foundation so that these suits could be worn by men who are going in for interviews or whenever they're starting their first job again and trying to get back on their feet. In all, they donated 14 suits, 58 dress shirts, 300 neckties, 25 polo shirts, 14 sweaters, 9 sport coats, 9 pairs of dress shoes, 15 belts, 2 parkas, and 3 pairs of dress slacks. That's an incredible list of things that they donated, and dozens of people whose lives are going to be blessed by Alex Trebek, by his lasting legacy. You know, the executive producer of Jeopardy said that even to the very end, on the last day of filming, Alex was talking to everybody about what it means to have our hearts and our hands open to those who are suffering, to be there to bless life and help others in need. Alex Trebek was somebody who once said, "Don't tell me what you believe in, I'll observe how you behave, and I will make my own determination." He was somebody who truly lived out his values. What does it mean to go out into the world, to see those who are suffering and have our hearts opened, to follow and to make a difference, to bring hope? I believe that during the season of Lent, if we have our hearts opened, then God can use us. I I believe if we're willing to have our hands open, it's amazing to see the ways that God can use the gifts that we have been given to make a difference in the lives of others. I hope that every day during the season of Lent, you and I are taking seriously that commitment to our daily devotional time so that we can be growing in our faith, so that we can have our hearts open and we can be listening for God's voice speaking to us so that we will know where God is calling to us. And along the way in this 40-day season, I think we're going to be able to look back and see the incredible ways that God has transformed us along the journey. I hope today you have your heart open, and I hope you make it a great day.